every moment that we are on this earth, that we are on this planet, we should enjoy it thoroughly. What happens is that we get very sidelined by what we think is important. So wherever your priorities lie, that's where your energy is going to go. You think your job is so important, you're going to spend all of your energy, invest all of your energy in making that part of your life grow. And the rest of it will be ignored. This is how it is. This is how it is. Whatever you give your attention to grows in your life. Now, we spend a lot of our time making lots and lots of money. And I was discussing with a friend today, and she was telling me the number of homes Jeffrey Epstein owned. Now, I don't know really who Jeffrey Epstein is, but I think he's someone really important. And she told me he owned a lot of houses. And at the end of it, what happens? You're gone. Whatever wealth you own, if you're not currently using it in a fulfilling way, if you're simply amassing a fortune and you spend all of your health and all of your energy invested in that, you leave it all behind. You leave it all behind. And towards the end of life, people don't think about the wealth that they've earned. They think about the people that they disrespected or they didn't value. And I remember that my father-in-law, in India, in marriages, they're not very vocal or very demonstrative, relationships are a little different from what they are today. And one day he told me, he came to stay with me for 3 months after my mother-in-law passed, and he said, I never told her how much I appreciated her. And I said, okay, there's no problem. I gave him a book and I said, write it down. Write down what you feel. Having regrets can really bring you down, because that means you're saying that whatever went on in your life thus far is a big no. It's a waste of all your time, because it doesn't matter that you had a wife. The thing you feel bad about is that you never told her how much you loved her, how much you appreciated her, how much you wanted her in your life. You never took the time to do all that. And the problem is, these thoughts come to us not in the moment. They come to us in hindsight, because in the moment, we're more worried about our tennis game going well. We're more worried about our food being cooked properly. We're more worried about the contract coming in. We're more worried about clinching that deal. We're more worried about what is happening in our lives now. And the circle of life keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Our circle of belonging keeps getting smaller and smaller. So what happens is that most of your day you spend attending to your husband and your 2 children. Maybe your mother once a week. That too. And then when the loss is sudden, you feel sad that you didn't take the time. We always do what we don't really need to do or don't really want to do when we are unconnected with our source. If you live on the periphery of life, if you deal with life through mind, through expectations of parents and society and what everybody else wants from you, you find that you will miss the small things in life. You won't stop to take those beautiful green aha moments. Those moments that are so precious. What's happened, what has happened thus far is just a memory. Okay? We cannot control what has happened so far. We've lived our lives in a certain way because of certain training. But now, right now, you can awaken. You can awaken to the things that really, really matter to you. What is important for you. To take the time, not to give your money, not to give your donations, but to give your attention to more and more people. Because people matter a lot more than material goods. There was a study done in Harvard, and they found that more than 95% of the people that were polled said that their happiness lies in successful relationships. That if you have a good and you have a nurturing relationship, that you do well. So people matter. We are hardwired to connect with people. That is in our nature is to do for others. So service or seva or doing for others comes automatically to you. And this need to be private, to do for oneself, to be selfish in one's needs is a very modern day concept, and it never goes well. It never goes well. Ultimately, it is only when you give to others, when you do for others, that true abundance and true feeling of expansion comes within you. You keep doing for yourself, there is no limit to it. And there's a point at which there is a burnout. There's a complete burnout when you find that you're working, you're doing all this, but suddenly life becomes meaningless. Like, what have I been doing for the last 30 years? I don't know what my first cousin in the village is doing. I don't know what my mother ate for breakfast yesterday. I don't know what my neighbor is suffering from. Small things in life give meaning, give depth. But regret itself is not a very positive emotion. It is only useful if it teaches you a lesson. So any negative guilt, regret, that feeling of being wronged, affront, all these emotions that we feel, that when somebody has done something wrong, or when you feel you've done something wrong, or when you feel you've made a mistake, or someone else has made a mistake, or there's something that was missing that you could have done that you couldn't do. These things don't serve you. They don't serve you at all, because what are we concerned with? We are concerned with equanimity of mind. We're concerned with being completely present in this moment. We're concerned with bringing our minds back, and feeling bad about something that you'd said or didn't say in the past. Your action or inaction in the past is of no use, other than the fact that you learn from it and don't repeat the same. That's all the past is for. The past is for a quick glance. This is the reason that we don't have huge rear view mirrors in our car. We have a little one there that you glance at occasionally. And you have the side mirrors that you glance at occasionally to see what's happening behind you. You don't sit like this in the car, do you? We all make mistakes. Nobody is doing things perfectly. Without realizing we hurt people. Our action or our lack of action can hurt a lot of people. And while it is important to acknowledge what we do or don't do, learn from it and move on. Holding on to that doesn't serve you at all. It is all about, yes, I've given everything to my job and I've ignored my family. I've ignored my friends, or I've ignored my health. Okay, now what am I going to do? Am I going to feel just regret? I should have done this. I could have done that. There are lots of people in our lives, even if we don't want to think that way, they will tell us, oh, you should have done this. You should have said hello first. You should have done behaved like this or sent an email. You should have said thank you. So many people there to tell us what we did wrong, what we could have done. None of us are perfect. So don't beat yourself up. But if you are feeling that you should have done this, then make it a point in your life that once a week you perform, or even once a day, perform a random act of kindness for no reason. You are not going to get $1 extra because of it. Nothing physical. And just see how just doing something randomly for somebody makes you feel. If all your thoughts are all consuming about your state of mind, try moving outward. Try doing something for somebody else. It erases everything. It erases the past mistakes that we've made. Because it doesn't matter how we have behaved in the past. I could be a drunkard, a smoker, high on drugs for 20 years in my life, and then wake up. And what does it matter what I did then? If I am awakened to the moment right now, this is all that matters. My entire purpose of all these Wednesday sessions and week after week I do this is to make you think about how you are moving away into the future with a worry, a fear. Oh my God, this may happen, this may not happen. I might have a child, I might not have a child. My child might get married, not get married. My son might get into drugs, might not get into drugs. My daughter might marry a person from another community. How many times are you away from the moment? How many times are you catching yourself and coming back? Because right here, this is the source, this is the closest. And all of you who attended my last class on eternal time will understand the importance, why I tell you now is so important. You have to keep coming back because this is the closest you're going to get to the source. Right now. And in this moment, if you are not happy, when are you going to be? This is a habit, right? This is a habit that you carry through your life. So this moment is everything. You think that when you make amends with that person, life is going to be good. There'll be another mistake you'll make. And you'll be beating yourself up for that. And another mistake. And another mistake. We continually fall and then we get up like little babies and we walk again. And then we fall and we get up, and this is life. This is life. It's full of such learning opportunities. So every time you make a mistake or you do something that fills you with regret, don't hold on to it and make it your identity. You are not a bad person. You are not a person who doesn't care. You're not a person who's filled with guilt. Don't make regret so big that it consumes your life. Instead, just use that. Acknowledge it completely and move forward. Changing everything. Because you can change, everything changes from this point forward. You can do anything you want, right? Where is your focus? Where is your focus? Is your focus only on making money? Is your focus on building great relationships? Is your focus on helping others? Is your focus on me? What about me? I need to be taken care of, my needs. We have to learn how to reflect on our lives. You see, we don't reflect enough. So what happens is that something else takes a hold of us and we find that we're just hurtling through life. We've gone through 20, 30, 40 years. God knows how we got here. And we have nothing to answer for. Is this what you want? Is this where you want to be? Is this what you want your life's focus to be? Whatever is thought for others always works better than what is for yourself. At the end of the day, it's all about others. But in order to serve your family, you need to take care of yourself. You need to be healthy. You need to be centered. And carrying regret with you is like weighing yourself down when you don't need to. Acknowledge. Apologize to yourself for it. Once. And then let it go. And this is true for any mistake you make. You don't have to sit and apologize again and again and keep saying that you're sorry. You don't have to keep dredging up that thought and feeling bad for yourself. Use this opportunity to learn. Let it be a learning experience. Don't feel bad about apologizing. Apologize sincerely, but once. And then move forward. Move forward. And in another mood, maybe I would have given a different talk. I don't know why it's come out this way. But I don't think I've ever spoken about regret before. Maybe the next time I talk about regrets, it'll be connected to desires. Desire and regret go together. And that'll be a topic for another day. But for today, just know that you are blessed. You are taken care of. That everything you ever want is here. That the solution is there with the problem. And that in this moment, you are totally in the arms of the divine. And with that thought, we'll get into our meditation. Om Namah Shivaya.